Welcome, everybody. FirerySide Chat, episode 3, where we bring a person, a community figure sometimes, or an 82L to chat with them. Today's guest is SubWoofer. What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, what's up, man?
It's a beautiful day in Missouri, and it's not raining. It's been raining a lot lately, and oh Lord have mercy, I love that picture of me. Uh,
Yeah, dude. Was
that's
that
exactly what I look like. For anybody that was wondering, that's perfectly accurate. Thank
so?
you.
A little background for this guy. He's Mary Todd Lincoln. They're not playing this year. They've been playing the past few seasons. Uh, he's given music to Jukester for his videos, and that's
Oh
all I
yeah,
know, man. That's all.
that. I mean, I'm not one of those 82L alums that's been around for 23 seasons, like some of these guys that are. I mean, that's just impressive in and of itself. But I think we've done four now, 4 seasons maybe, something like that. But yeah, it's been a blast. Hoping to jump back into it in the maybe season 29 or 30 once life goes back to normal for a couple of us. So yeah, but it's been great. Super enjoy.
Yeah, I think I've been here since 19 or 20, so I haven't been around for 23 episodes. I'm talking about like season 19 or season 20 is when I first joined.
Yeah, I think ours was 23, if I remember right. I would have to look back in it. 22 or 23. And I think the only two of us that are still on the team from then are me and Lung Butter are still around, but everybody else has either moved on or like Kino is now captaining our other squad. So
So were you not able to play this season, or you can't? You're a legend, right? Right now.
no, I'm Archon right now. Just
Oh.
decided not to play the season. Uh Wife and I have a kid on the way in the next probably couple weeks here ish. So a lot of other stuff going on with that, of course, that I didn't want to, be in the middle of a tournament game and suddenly have to leave because, child on the way or something. And then also one of our guys is finishing up his PhD. And then one of our guys is opening up a coffee shop. And so kind of a lot of life stuff going on all at once. So we figured we'd rather come back and give it a better effort. Although, seeing as how we went 0 and 12, I don't know. We probably still could have gone 0 and 12, I guess. So, all things being equal.
No, but you know what? You did win a game in the playoffs, though,
That's right. We had that super stressful series against Extra Lives
and then ROT.
and
You took a game off of them.
took a game off ROT. Well, the trick is just to tilt Grouty, I think, and make him do stupid things, and then you can win the game. That's what we went with. So,
Yeah, he hates tips. Like I think it's just part of a game. I don't understand. Like I love when people tip me. It makes me feel kind of good. It makes me feel important. So
I enjoy if I am notable enough to get a tip, I'm flattered.
yeah, he,
So, yeah.
yeah.
But no, it was a good end of the season, and I mean, we all felt good about the progress we made and what we did, and I think really the biggest thing was just having everybody be comfortable and enjoy the season. And for two of the guys, it was their first ever foray into competitive Dota. So uh, I don't know about nerves necessarily, but it's a different environment, different beast than just playing pubs. So it was a lot of fun.
You're against five stacks that have been playing together. Sometimes just that season, but they're five stack that's regularly, generally playing with each other at least once a week, anyways. You're facing, so it can be breaker because they do research on you. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna ban this." So then you're like, "Oh, I only played 3 heroes. They banned all three. What do I do now?" Now that doesn't
Right.
happen to me. Huge hero pool, but some of these guys that come in that are new players, they've just been playing only a handful of heroes. They get targeted ban, and they're out of their kind of league. The biggest example is Lukey. You know,
Mhm.
Pango
Oh,
player.
with the Pango, yeah.
Yeah, you ban his Pango. What does he do in top tier Dota? Not much.
Right, right. Well, I mean, we had, Lord Nova, who I don't know how many Pudge games that guy has, probably 1,200 or 1,300. You know, master tier Pudge player, can make the hero work, but when the Pudge is banned, what are you gonna do? So had to expand on our draft ideas a lot because nobody's gonna give you your best hero.
I gave you guys
Uh,
Pudge.
you did give us Pudge, and we
Yeah,
still lost.
yeah.
So yeah, but
I don't think Pudge is that good of a hero. So if someone plays a shitty hero, I'll just pick heroes I think are good against them. That's my listen. That's my opinion. I feel like Pudge doesn't really help in Dota unless if he's
right,
super OP. So I'm like I'll give them this hero.
right.
Yeah,
No,
that's my
absolutely,
thinking.
and it worked for you guys too. It was a spanking.
Yeah, fortunately we were able to win a couple of games there.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of. You guys played good.
Yeah, and you touched on Mary Todd, and they're not even using the MTL name. Well, they are married. They're using Mary Todd Lincoln Forever Young, so they're not
Yeah.
even saying, "Hey, we're actually MTL this season." Was that a conversation you had with Kino and be like, "Nah, if you're in Archon League, you can't be true MTL. You have to take a backseat and be our seed team."
So about a year ago, we kind of had a split with the team. Our main carry wanted to pursue his own thing and do solo queue, and I think at that point he was like ancient something. We didn't want to move up into intermediate with that lineup at that point. So a couple people broke off and did different things. Kino started his own team and has been kind of recruiting that on the side. And really, the only difference between their team and our team is, maybe if you had to pool the MMRs, the average MMR is maybe 1,000 lower on their team. So it's not a huge difference. Um, we do scrim with them occasionally or trade players back and forth and do in houses for fun.
Hmm.
But it's fun for them because it's some of the guys that we used to play with that maybe wouldn't be super comfortable playing in a 3.5K average league, but they feel just fine, in a 2K league. So uh, I think the Archon League is a really good thing for that. And they already won a game, so props to them.
Yeah, they're the only team with 1 win right now. There's a few with zero, and it's good, though. That the Archon League and it's taken off. The issue is there's a lot of Archon players, but generally you don't look for some competitive Dota until you climb, and that was kind of the
Right.
issue with Archon. But Contender even has some Archon players, and Ancient Intermedia has uh, Legend players. There's some full Legend teams. ROT. I don't know if you've watched anything, but I casted
Oh
ROT's
yeah.
game this past week, and ROT actually beat the highest MMR average team, Manchester United, in a 2-0, which I was
Yeah.
shocked by.
I actually watched your cast of it. Uh, ROT when I was scouting them last season, I just thought they had such an awesome synergy as a team, which I think more than makes up for any MMR disparity. If you just play that well together, uh, it covers a lot of little individual mistakes. They just they just synergize really well. It's cool to see.
They play a lot together, and they've been playing a lot together for a long time. And the combination of that two can help you win games. It's really interesting, man. It's I don't even think Manchester respected game one. Uh, ROT's hero pool
Yeah.
either. I felt like ROT got their heroes. Game two, they banned their heroes out of the first round, which was funny. Oh, you picked these three heroes all banned, but and I thought game two actually Manchester had the better draft. I don't know what they were doing. I felt like I I've I know
That
like
game could have gone either way, I
hmm
feel. It was definitely not like one in the draft for sure.
I've I've been told I've heard by not even 80-12 people outside of 80-12. Cam's kind of like a rager. They're mid. So, I feel like, and I think that's how they lost against Helmets On too. I think Cam like loses it maybe. Like he needs to, it's a video game, guys. Deep breaths. And Tal. I honestly think their team can do a lot better. I'm surprised. They need to play together, get back to the drawing board. I think. You know.
That's the beautiful thing about these leagues. Even last year, uh, despite the ending records of some of these teams, even in intermediate, like with Helmets On, I think also had a no win season until the
Yes.
until the playoffs. Yeah, but I don't think there was ever a point. I watched a couple of their games too. There was never a point at which even the teams that didn't have a lot of wins were getting blown out. Every game. There's still really competitive games, and there were a lot of games that I felt like either team could have won or lost the game. There wasn't ever a situation where there was a team that couldn't have taken a game off another team. If they had drafted a little better or played a little better. It's just super competitive, which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it is competitive, like helmets on, and they did beat TTP, who went
Yeah.
on to go to the top four. I just remember there was a player, he plays pause four on TTP, and he was shit talking helmets on and how the fact they shouldn't be playing them, and helmets on won a game. I am so happy helmets on did because as you guys because I'm like, see, they do deserve to be in this league because they did win a game. But I just
I
remember
think,
it, man. I thought TTP was going to go to the grand finals too, but
yeah,
dude, I'm
I did
telling.
too.
I had them as my grand finals, but you know what? They lost against Hall It's On. I'm like, oh, did I pick wrong, man? Because that was Helmets On first win. Very happy. I love when people shit talk and then it gets reversed. The Helmets On guys are really nice guys, and you know, they they
Not
they it kind of validates them. It's like, yeah, see, we can beat you. So that was always good.
and not even the shit talking, but I mean, this from being on teams. If you feel like you have something to prove, or maybe you have an opportunity to strike back, and maybe people doubt you, it can fuel that mental game. Dota is so much a mental game. If you can channel that in a positive way and be like, no, no, we got this, or uh, case in point for us playing extra lives, there was the whole kind of mock all-star teams and mock MVP that was done, which I know there was a lot of discussion and kind of trolling back and forth with that. But when we saw that their mid, was putting up monster numbers the whole year, I sat down with our mid and I was like, look, we're going to analyze what he wants to play and where he goes and what he does. And we're going to do our very best to just shut him down. Like, even if we don't win the game, at least maybe, we kill him a couple times. We don't let him have a monster game. So that was like our motivation, was like, hey, this guy just got nominated for MVP. He's had a crazy good year. Let's go out with a bang. Let's see if we can shut him down. So
You got, man, I watched that game three, and it was a game three. That's for sure. I don't want to.
oh,
it
the
was.
game two, I
I
think it was a
watched.
2-0.
Oh, was it a
It
2-0?
was a 2-0.
Well, I
Yeah.
watched game two. It was a long game. It was fun, but I will
Yeah.
say that yeah, the Ah Rooster MVP jokes and meme, they weren't to hurt Ah Rooster. It wasn't the goal. It was that the Dr. Geo who made them, he picked an Archon player to for an arc, the art like in the how there's Division 1 and Division 2. I think
Right.
every mid in Division 1 is better than the Division 2 all rooster. And saying he's better than every single mid or every single player on Div 1 is just like a huge snub and a mistake. And you know what? You guys beat him. Which
Yeah.
is good. Like, I do think Extra Lives could have been in our league and might have won some, or would have been in the I think the bottom three, bottom four, kind of in their area. But it wasn't on him. It wasn't on. It was like nobody was making fun of him. It was more on Dr. Geo. Even though you say
Yeah.
MVP, yes he's a player that did really well in the lower league, but as soon as he faced a team I do feel like he crumbled kind of against your team. Like you
Yeah.
guys are a
Well,
step above any Archon team. Like I really think there's a huge divide between Division 1 and Division 2, where Extra Lives and you were on a similar level, and I feel like you basically destroyed All Rooster.
which was, I mean, in a very nice team way. That was the goal. So, in the best possible way you can phrase that, that was our goal. So,
You could say that. Would you say that going against Division 1 teams, even though you lost the whole entire time, prepared you for facing the top Division 2 team? Like Division 2, I felt was super weak. Archon
oh,
League, every league you
absolutely.
go up. So you think facing that higher competition made it when you face their team, you're like, we can beat this team?
Oh, absolutely. I think my philosophy as a captain, and of course you have to have a team that agrees with this or it just blows up in your face. But my philosophy has always been I want to get better. I care more about improving than I care about winning. Because if I win and I have no idea why I'm winning or how I'm winning, it doesn't do me a whole lot of good. I'd rather lose and have things to work on and be learning concepts than just win and not be sure how or stack the team to win. Then say, hey, look at how good I am? Question mark. You know.
Right.
So I think it's better for your growth as a player to play better players, even if you get spanked over and over. You should be learning, and so it'll make you better than if you stomp every game. What do you learn from stomping?
Yeah,
So
I'm not the biggest fan of having consistent stops, once in a blue moon. I like having really close games where I win. I
yeah,
don't like being
same.
stomped, and I don't like losing and getting stomped.
I
Uh,
don't like getting stomped either it's for a reason.
mhm. Well,
There's a limit to the stompage.
yeah,
So
depends. I like close games, and you're right. You got to face better players to get better. So one could argue playing with the big boys made MTL a team that can go into the finals, take a game off ROT, and move into the top 8. All Division 1 teams, moved on, which is
yeah,
showing the fact Div 1, the 8 teams picked, arguably
and
were the 8 better ones.
I don't think anybody else took a game off ROT either, if I remember right. I think we were the only ones. So
Yeah, yeah. Was it a 2-0? DH Sprout got 2-0'd?
they did.
Oh, and ROT, yeah, and they 3-0'd, which I didn't think they were going to 3-0, but man, they crumbled. They crumbled on drugs and Dota.
Yeah, that was another one where I thought it was going to be a 3-2. Either way, it could have been because both teams were so good when we played them.
Yeah, no, some conflicts, on the team at drugs and Dota. They might have the better players, but you need
Dota's
a
a mental game. Yeah,
yeah. If you gotta have the camaraderie, and ROT has that. Uh, so you do music, right?
I do. I do.
You know, just any music. Like I need like explanations. I know basically nothing about music besides I listen to
So
it and I like it.
so I went to my college experience was at Berkeley in Boston. So pretty known for like more modern music, not so much the classical side, but people go there for, you know, different instruments, but also the production and the business side of music and arts. So I did like audio production, engineering, mastering, that sort of stuff. So right now it's still not my full-time gig. Obviously I'm in finance. That's what I do by day, but it's fun as a side passion, and I've been involved in the industry for a while. So most of what I do is producing or mastering or mixing for other people, you know, finalizing what they do and then getting it ready for iTunes or Spotify. Uh, have done a couple short films, stuff like that. So nothing, you know, crazy notable. No A-listers, but it's fulfilling and it's a lot of fun. So
No, fair enough. Not didn't make a beat and get it bought and making
yeah,
country. What's that? Lil Nas X. He made gonna take Old
uh,
Town Road. Old Town Road.
Old Town Road, which
Yeah, dude.
what a
He sold the song for
song.
like $100. He bought that tune for $100. Made the song. He like wrote lyrics on the beat and bought it for $100, man.
Yeah, and I mean, look at who knows how much money that song actually made now? Millions, you know,
Yeah.
tens of millions.
Wouldn't that be cool for you? Let's just say you put up a beat and it became famous, but you only got $100 for it.
Sure. I mean, yeah, the notoriety would be fine. That'd be awesome. I wouldn't complain.
See, I think I forget the story. I think the guy would kind of complained about it or something a little bit. Like I can't, this guy made millions of dollars and all I got was 100. But you sold it then, and it might have never gone anywhere. Your beat, if this guy didn't take your beat and make a song on it.
Right.
So
There's so many artists that happens to, though. They sell something off for a limited amount of money, or they get into a bad contract with a producer, and then the song ends up making it big, or the group ends up
mhm.
making it big, and they get like 10% of it, you know, or 5% of it. The label takes the rest. So
Yeah, I've heard a few stories in that industry. Like I don't know much about music, and I didn't know that like random people would make beats and then you bought them and stuff. Like I'm very naive to the music world, and
yeah,
this guy, he makes beats and stuff, and he couldn't say who it was, but I kind of was thinking it was Kanye West. Walked in, heard he was in the studio making a beat, and the artist. No, he didn't say the artist. I'm gonna say it's Kanye. Walked in
yeah.
and said $10,000. That's my beat.
I mean, look, if you can get somebody to pay you 10 grand for a beat, take it. Like,
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. If your beat and dude, you got like Kanye, but I think when you sell your beat, I don't even think they have to like give you sometimes their name on it or whatever, and they just claim it as their own. But
yeah,
ten
but
thousand dollars, $10,000, man.
$10,000 is awesome because most of these places where you've got your money going through an agency or a label, someone wants to buy it and license it. There are a lot of places that'll sell you license rights for like $50 for a track. So 10 grand would be killing it.
Yeah, he
It'd be
was like
awesome.
in a studio with a famous artist. I'm not saying it's Kanye. I'm just saying he was in a studio and a famous artist heard it while he was there. So he's
Yeah,
not even
that's
doing
sick.
it at home. He's doing it like, at an actual studio.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's sick.
so I was like, dude, even if it's not Kanye, anybody, I'm like, sell that beat and it must be good. He couldn't even share the beat, right? Because he's like, can't share who it is. I sold it. My name's never gonna be on it. But
Yeah,
hey, I'm just saying, I did this. He's
yep,
allowed to, share. He's like, I made money, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's cool.
right. Yeah, they usually make you sign, you know, the NDAs,
Yeah,
all that. Not allowed to talk about it. Yeah.
that's okay, man. Listen. If I could make beats and what people are buying them, and I'm good enough.
There you go.
You know,
There,
yeah, I'm like, that's okay. I'll survive.
well, if you're looking for a job change, man, I
Nope.
mean, we can.
No, no. You know, I like my stable job, you know,
Same
and
here.
you know, throwing it away for the chance. First off, believe it or not, if I was going to throw my whole entire life away and say, okay, I'm focusing on something, I almost did it with Dota 2 casting. I was gonna start casting for Gas BTS to cast for them and stuff, kind of like B-pop and Party Pete and stuff, and try to make my way
Right.
there after school. But then I got my job, and I'm like, never mind, cancel everything that I thought I was gonna do. And besides that, I've always wanted to do marketing. If my dream job probably wouldn't even be Dota 2 casting, it would be being a marketer and making my own commercial. I'd like to make my own commercial. I like to be the head of an ad campaign and be like,
Right
this
on.
is mine. That would be my dream. Making a
That
good
would
ad campaign.
look. The people who do that make bank too. Like that's a lot of money in that.
It is, but to get even there and being the head, you got to grind your way up. And I'm not interested in the grinding your way pay. I just like to make an ad campaign and
You
lead it.
just want to be at the top and lead it.
Yeah, at the top, heck, if I'm in just charge of the commercial, I don't need to be head honcho. I could just make the commercial, like, or be I don't need to be the head. I just want to be a part of it. Making, like, uh let's say McDonald's is making a new ad campaign, and I want to make their slogan for them. I want to do everything as much as I can. I
That
want to be in the room where it happens.
that's the look, man. Go for it. What do you do right now? Is it anything at all remotely like that?
No, no, it's a pretty boring job. I call myself an electrical designer for simple
No.
terms, and it is nothing like anything related to marketing slash commercials and everything.
Well, I mean, you got time. World is it? There's information out there. You can
Yeah,
pursue your dream.
you know,
Start your own ad company. There you go.
you know. Remember when I said I like my stable job? I like
Look,
because it's stable. Maybe in
I
30
hear
years.
Valve needs some help marketing Dota. I hear they need an ad campaign.
If Valve could just start marketing Dota. Last year, Slack, or was it 2 years ago or a year ago? Slack's Dota videos were actually on ads for people. And that was like the
Yeah,
only time I saw Dota marketed in like the last 4 or 5 years.
look, this intro screen for the battle pass is like the best content they've put out in 6 years, and it's 20 seconds. So
Yeah, but you have to go in the Dota client for that.
right, yeah, but that could be an ad. That could be a YouTube ad. They could just plop that on a video.
And then just add
I
at
mean,
the end Battle Pass Dota
battle
2.
pass. We get a whole bunch of level 1 accounts that would play and get flamed and never come back. The end.
Yeah, actually, just speaking of the opening, Marana boob jiggle. There's a little boob jiggle. I'm not trying to sound like some
Is there?
a simp or like corn dog or something, but they're like the Marana boobs were done really well.
I don't think that's not simping. Is that simping to like
No, I guess that'd be no, but like people are using that for any behavior. Oh, you like girls, or you know, I guess simping you have to give money to
huh?
someone just because they're a girl.
I mean, I okay, now I'm going to watch the intro again.
I'm just
I
saying
mean, I
there's like
guess
a little. I'm not saying the boob really jiggles. I'm just saying the boobs are realistic, which I like.
they are realistic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's good. It's good contouring.
Yeah, I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I like this. I really like the intro. Like some people say skip it. I'm like, dude, I actually really enjoy going into the game and you hear the music, bah, bah, and everything. I love it.
The Quap looks awesome too. I wonder if that's gonna it's like a preview of her set. I'm
S-
excited for that for non weird reasons. I just think Quap needs a new kind of redesign, and I'm hoping this set looks really good because her character model has looked outdated for a long time. So it'll be cool to see.
Yeah, yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to this battle pass. I think we're getting a lot of stuff. I know a lot of. So I actually yesterday or 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, I had an actual conversation of why some people think this battle pass is awesome and why some people don't. And it was a very good, very calm conversation amongst multiple people. If you have money to spend, this battle pass is the best yet. With Pudge, Murana. I mean, not Murana. Pudge, Anti Mage, uh, Queen of
Quap, Wind
Pain, Wind
Ranger,
Ranger, and what's the fifth? I'm missing the fifth man.
Wraith King.
Yeah,
Wraith King.
dude, how did I forget about Skeleton King, dude? There's 5 special sets, right? 5 special. If you go last year, there was 4, and I think the year before that was only 3. So if you have money, yes, the top prizes you have to spend more to get them. But if you have money, they are way better. It is way better. So a lot of people that are like, fine, I'll spend an extra $100 and I get all this cool stuff. Awesome. But then there's people that only want to spend $10 or let's say $60, and they're like, I can't get everything. This is unfair, But so
Wasn't there
there's two sides.
somebody did the numbers, and it is harder to grind this year than it ever has been. A little bit. Not like drastically, but I think he did the numbers, and if you grind every day, you max out your guild stuff. It's like 170 levels, something like that. Where in the past you could probably hit 200. So it's not drastically different than it used to be.
Yeah.
People are just complaining that there's 5 sets
That
and
they
they can't get them for $10. So
and here's where my side is like, listen, I'm not rich, but I used to be poor. I didn't buy the battle pass. I didn't, or I bought it and I didn't hit like a bunch of levels. And for people that don't know, that watch, I'm over 2,000 already.
I
I
saw that.
I don't do that, man. I never complained. I was happy with what I got. The first 100 levels, if you get 100 levels, you get every single treasure one immortal. And usually treasures for me are like 250. In America, they're $2 or $2.25. So right there, you already have your value if you just get your immortals.
Right.
In theory, and you can grind 170 levels. People are also missing a few things too. Like if you do Gauntlet, like I'm getting 100 battle pass levels every day, and once you're level 3, you can do 2 challenges and maybe get 175.
Right.
Um, the achievements. One thing that does actually hurt is before you could vote for TI 10, and you usually got like 20 levels from predictions. This time you don't get that,
Right.
so that
Right.
kind
There's
of
no
sucks.
fantasy.
But there is
And I
some.
missed the fantasy. The fantasy was cool.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do. I don't know if it'll be a bonus thing at the end, or like they'll just keep battle pass levels this whole entire time until before TI and be like, hey, remember you had the battle pass? Here's a little extra. I have no idea what they'll do, but the prize pool is really good. And I think it's the best value. Also, they changed the chances of getting the very rares in Immortal. I only have one Pudge Hook, and the Drow I have
Traxix here.
I have 4 bows or three
So
bows.
they lowered
Oh, I
they
only got
lowered
3 of the bows, but I think
Okay.
Ember I got like 6 of them.
From now.
I got
Yeah.
I think I gave one away. I had 6 of these, and they're 430. Like like the battle pass for people that spend a lot of money. In theory, it kind of sucked. Like the value isn't there. It's not as hard, and it's like, well, the argument is, shouldn't people that grind should be able to get the really best set, or should it be on sale? You know, it's kind of tough. It is really tough because For me, because I'm spending money, I think the Battle Pass is amazing value.
Well, and there have been people that have pointed out a couple of these sets, they have not said that they'll be exclusive. So it's very possible that some of these Arcanas maybe make a reappearance and people can just buy them outright. If they didn't want to spend the money, they can just pay the $35 and get them later. So
Yeah, maybe in a few years, have that exclusivity for a few years, or put them in put them as chances to get in like another treasure, you know,
right. Yeah, that would be awesome.
so there's potential there, but that's the main thing for me. It's like, guys, you know what? Like $10 does give you a lot, I feel. And you
Oh,
can grind. You don't get
yeah.
everything. And that's where the divide honestly is. If you don't want to spend a lot, you don't get everything and you feel like you're missing out on stuff. But you do bring a point. It doesn't say it's forever gone, just currently.
Yeah, like I want to say, was it the Invoker Persona and then the IO Arcana from like 3 years ago are still exclusive. And I guess the tiny set is also where you can't get them anywhere. You can't trade them. You can't, move them around. You either got it or you didn't. I think this year, I don't think any of them are listed as exclusive.
They aren't.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I could see them. The battle pass ends and they say, "Well, if you didn't get it here, it's $35."
Yeah. The thing is, the IO Arcana, I actually have on another account I have. Because I was going to make that my main account. I have a long story about my second account because I came back to Dota after a break and I was losing every game because it was too high MMR. So I made a new account and then I bought the Battle Pass on that one, ranked it up, got the IO Arcana, and then I switched back to this account. So I don't play IO, but it kind of sucks my IO's on a different account. I didn't get to 1,000 on that one either. I was poor. It was my first Battle Pass I could actually buy.
I don't think I've ever gotten higher than like 300 something. I've only ever gotten the base, maybe like the first or second level pass, like the $30 one, and then I just grind up.
And then you might buy the summer sales package.
Yeah, I think I did last year because I really wanted was it the tiny? I think that was just beyond reach if you were grinding. I think it was the tiny.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, that I ended up getting, and I might get one or two of the what is it, the collector's cash. Sometimes get some of those if they look really cool. It just depends. I'm not somebody who's ever gonna spend $1,000 on it, but if there's good stuff, I don't mind paying for it. They're not forcing you to pay for it,
They are.
People complaining about this. It's not like they're twisting your arm. Like if you want it, you can pay for it. And if you don't want it, there's a lot of other cool stuff to grind for that's still, free if you're grinding.
It's a free game. Every hero is available to you. And nobody gets any advantages for spending money. Unlike League of Legends, you had the hero rotation. You could buy heroes to, open up your hero pool and everything. You could slowly grind just to be able to play more heroes.
Right.
And Dota, everything's available to you. Everybody's on an even playing ground, regardless of if you have sets or not. Like this is, you don't have to spend money. You can spend $0
Yeah.
and play Dota for 10 years. And you can spend as long as you have a computer. And Dota, you know what? Valve is perfectly, well, they probably aren't. They hope you eventually buy sets and stuff. But, the idea, like, honestly, if people just stop buying sets, Dota wouldn't be very viable.
And
right?
I mean, you can think about all the Kunkka boots that you can get as drops, and all of the BZZ Pugna sets that you'll get for free.
Man, dude, I actually hate Riley's blessing because I always get all these shit sets. I open them up because you can't give them to anybody or anything. So I just open it up and I'm like, man, these are the shit. Like, honestly, they are so bad. I'd rather just get 100 battle pass points. I wish there was an option. Just
Let's
give me
see.
100 battle pass points. Don't make me open up a chest from 5 years ago and get a set I won't use.
I got the Weight of Omex set for Centaur. That was my drop from the Rylace thing the other day. It's from like 2015. No particle effects. Just kind of Centaur with a mace. Cool.
I'm
Can't
looking
trade
for
it.
it.
Can't give it away. It's just there.
I'm trying to find it. I don't see it. What's it called?
Weight of
Weight of
Omex.
Omex. Oh, dude, this set is garbage. Yeah, you
Right.
just have a garbage set now, man. Dude, you know,
That was my drop.
when Dota Plus actually did come out, I did use 3,000 Dota Plus points for the Lord of the Vicious Plane because I thought that set was okay.
Which one is that? Now I gotta open that up.
But honestly, I have the Chieftain Crimson Witness hat, and then I have the Infernal Menace Immortal. I have 17 of those. And,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
it's okay. It's a cool set. I got the sniper set. I thought that looked all right.
it's like it's whatever. I'm just, it's nice. They don't technically have to, you know. Honestly, we're just buying to make ourselves look good. The pings, the tips, the bounties. I've done that a few times. You have 4 bounties that you can put on people for the week, and if you don't get it during the game, it's okay because you'll get it later on, and you just put them on people. And if someone on
So
your
if
team kills them, you get it in 5 minutes.
so if you're playing as Mirana or Quap or Luna and somebody puts a bounty on you, is that simping?
No.
Okay.
Because the
Just
person
making
that it
sure.
gets on him, the person that it's on doesn't get any points, even if they survive that 5 minutes.
So if somebody tips you though and you're playing Quap, then that is simping.
Do they have the battle pass?
Yes.
Is maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it depends. I guess what level are you have a 2,000 battle pass? You giving this Mirana player 200 battle pass points? Are you a lame level 1 giving only 50 away? How many battle pass points does your tip give? Because I give tech, and this is the thing they don't calculate. If you give tips away, man. Example, I'm giving 2,000. I'm giving 2,000 points away in a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 2
See,
levels.
I like to aggressively tip too. I don't really tip people for good plays. I like to, like Mirana misses an arrow and then you kill her.
Mhm.
That's a tip. See, that's how you should play Dota.
I like BM tips. My issue is I like to tip good supports in games. If I'm not playing support, or if I'm playing pause 4 and I'm being some kind of Looney Tune and they're trying hard, they're not complaining, I like to tip them at the game. I think 200 battle
Yeah.
pass points. It's more than what you get for a guild challenge. So
Right?
I think people like it. I gave one to Enigma. He asked for a tip at the start of the game. I didn't give him anything. He supported really well. He let me last hit. He never complained, and I tipped him at the end of the game, and he said thank you.
That is a rare thing right
So
there.
I
All of that right there is rare in a pub.
so I make sure I try to give tips to reward people. Though sometimes I do a BM tip. I actually wish there was they give people the option to tip more. 10 to the enemy team, 10 to your team. I'd love division. I'd love
Yes.
to, or even 5 extra tips just for the opposing team. I'd love to have those tips out there to spread the love.
I'm down.
You know,
Let's write a letter.
yeah, I'll
Get
write
Valve on board with that. I'm down with that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I've heard Ice Frog has listened to this FirerySide chat before, so you never know. We're catching up to we say things. That's what's happening here. Dude,
Is it?
he does. I think he has watched a couple episodes of Suns fan and Synderen because Synderen and Ice Frog have talked to each other.
It has to be. There's too much happenstance. Synderen will come up with an idea, and 2 weeks later, it's in the next patch. So clearly they talk or something. Something is going on there. Or Synderen is Ice Frog.
No, well, definitely not.
Or
Definitely.
Suns fan is Ice Frog.
Also, no.
Or Slacks is Ice Frog. They would
Okay.
never expect it.
You're right. I would never expect it either. I'd never expect any of those three. But no, yeah, Synderen and him, Synderen said has a Dota mind, He's a tier 3 Dota player, he's trying to make it in the pro scene. He's made TI early on and he's made some lands, but Europe is a stacked region,
Yeah.
you know.
And he's like rank 150 or something. I mean, he's still a good player. Just can't get on that team.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to make a team. It has to work out. And it's not. And I think Western Europe, it can be a little bit bad, right? This is the thing. And this is why I think NA Dota kind of died a little too and is dying is to make a team and dedicate yourself to Dota, you still have to pay so much money when you don't have a sponsor
Right.
to just survive and not make tournaments. But in CIS, you could be an org and be like, "Oh, rent's 250. You guys each have a computer. Here's your place, and here's a salary, and you guys can survive off of it. And we're only paying like $1,500 or some shit, like very low for these shitty CIS teams, right? Like you don't have
Right.
to put a lot into it. But NA Dota, it's like, well, minimum wage already gives you, well, okay, in Canada, we have a slightly higher minimum wage, but let's just say that they say, "Hey, we're gonna get you a team house, but your salary is only 1,000," because that would be more than minimum wage, right? So they say we'll
Right.
give you 1,000. Well, each player that's $5,000 plus like a house and all the expenses, and like you're looking at like $10,000 a month or some shit for a team.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't
Easily, I'm
you
sure.
you don't and CIS. I think that same 10,000 probably lasts 5 months
Yeah.
on a low tier team. So that's kind of the main issue. It's like, so I'm
Well, and
looking forward to this season coming up with the tier
yeah.
2, tier 1, and then they're kind of keeping tier 2 Dota alive. I think it will. Listen, people call it a meme and the weaker regions, and yeah, it will be because there's a lot of shit players, but I think there's potential for it to make those shit players better and more
Well, and
serious.
a lot of those teams have a player or two on them that is probably better than the team, and they can get picked up by a bigger team or, make their way into tier 1 Dota like Nisha did a couple years ago. And who's the guy who was playing on Viking GG? Forget his name. He went to NIP.
Oh, don't
Don't
ask,
remember what
man.
his name was. Yeah, he he was a super good mid player and got picked up by a tier 1 team,
Hmm.
right after a tournament. So it's cool for those guys who have the potential, and they just need the environment to be able to show it. It's cool.
I think there's some NA talent that just stop playing because there's no money. You don't have a sponsor, you don't have a salary, you don't make tournaments because only 2 teams go to a DPC event in NA and one minor team.
Right.
So that's only 15 players and 3 coaches getting paid. Everybody else gets fuck all. And it's like, well, I
Right.
wasted months. Now, at least now, even if you don't have a sponsor or anything, you make money. So I'm really happy
Right.
about that.
Yeah, same here.
You know, I do, think people, but I will say I do feel like if you're in the league, I don't know if you know this, but the bottom 2 teams and that get kicked out in the tier 2 league, they get um they get $0. I think they actually should get paid something, even if it's $1,000 each. lower the prize pool for the top 2 in that league or something, and the bottom league, and give those players some money for showing up. It shouldn't be 0.
Yeah, or give them something as long as they show up to games, as long as they're not doing what there was the one team that was forfeiting every time they made open quals
Dozy
and still
Sports.
getting DPC. Yeah, still getting DPC points even though they weren't showing up to games. Yeah,
You know why? Because they were in a tournament. I think it was. I don't know if it was Epolsey tournament, but this is the thing. If they won that tournament, the first place prize was $500.
right,
Even if they play those games in the qualifier, and this is the thing, the only teams that make money are the teams that win it. And quite frankly, Doze is the 8th best team or 7th best team in the NA qualifiers, or 10th best team. If it's out of 10, they're not making any money. So I think they made the better decision, even though it's stupid that they forfeited everything after playing one game. But it's like, why else wouldn't they? Why else would they?
right,
You want to make $500 or $0? Like, your team's getting just destroyed in 30 minutes, so they picked the $500 tournament.
right. I get that. I get that. I get also why they don't want teams doing that in the DPC. Once it's an official tier 1,
Well,
tier 2 league.
they had some rules about that. You had to play only so many stand-ins. All your players actually did have to play games. Odin, we have a live viewer here. What a shocker. I don't really advertise this as a live, but I want to mention here that it's not a participation trophy. They are told, hey, you have to play, I think they're BO3s. You have to play these 3 games uh, once a week for 2 months. You have to go there. Like, it's a
Right,
job. Or you get kicked out. You lose that spot. Well, you need incentive to go there. Like, you're spending 3 hours of your life to do this, to entertain people potentially. So yeah, I do feel they deserve some sort of compensation for that. I'm not saying it has to be a lot. It can be $2,500 for 7th and 8th place, and giving those people $500.
right. I mean, it's not like the money doesn't exist within Valve, you know. Like they're flush with money, they're fine.
Yeah, I'm even saying you can even change how the prize pool in that tier 2 works to lower the top 2 prizes and give it to the bottom 2. Like, you
Right.
don't even have to give more money away. That's my opinion though on it. I'm looking forward to it. These online leagues are kind of fun. I haven't been watching too much of it. Have you?
I have been trying to keep up with here and there just for the sake of the meta,
Hmm.
trying to stay on top of what's going on, but a lot of these teams are doing some clowny stuff, so it's probably less useful for that.
Hmm.
Secret looks dominant. If you get a chance to watch any of the games, just watch some of the Secret games. They're like a well-oiled machine right now. It's cool to watch.
Here's my issue. I work during the day. I can't be watching Twitch. And so all Europe's done. And NA games, they start in the middle of my workday. I've
Yeah,
never
same.
that's the one big thing I'm looking forward to, is like the NA League. The games are kind of during like after work hours. Like, the first one I'll kind of miss, but that's okay. But a lot of these games are literally during the day, even NA League. I'm like, I'm at work, guys. What are we doing? Like, you're alienating people that work during the day. Like, Europe is fine because, I'm not Europe's target audience. But
Right.
North America, I like watching North American Dota. I will sit and watch, but a lot of times it's like, oh, it's game game 1 of a series is already over for the second series sometimes when I get home.
Right. Oh
So
yeah, I end up watching replays. I think more often than the live feed.
I
Just don't
hate
have time for
I
that.
hate watching replays.
Now, if I could get paid to watch the live feed at work somehow, that would be great. but I haven't figured out how to make that happen. So
Well, I actually would like if my work let me do this. If I could just put it on, listen to it. I don't even need to see it. Just let me hear it. I don't know
yeah,
if you're the same, but like I sometimes like pick out the Dota positions. I'm like, hey, these are 5 heroes. Listening to it, and like if it's done by like, it has to be a tier 1 caster casting the game, by the way, for it to be worth it. But I can do it.
yeah. Well, the sound design, coming back to the sound thing, the sound design in Dota is so good. So you know what's going on just by listening to the sound of spells going off and abilities being used. It's crazy how much you internalize that. You can hear a game and know exactly what spells are being used and what's happening. So
This is the issue I think Grant and I have is I've been trying my hardest to figure out how do I balance sounds in Dota with my voice when I cast because Dota gets too loud, but it needs to be that loud for a viewer to hear, but I think it's too loud for me, so then I turn it down really low when I
as
cast.
long as you don't have music on, for whatever reason that drives me nuts when people have the Dota music on while they're casting, like the background track.
I
It's
never
it,
have music.
it's too much when you're casting.
I am anti music when I play video games, believe it or not. I want to listen to like I might be playing some war game from the Victorian era, man, and I'm just gonna be listening to some hip hop or any music really. I hate listening to in-game music. I want to listen to. I'd rather listen to no music or my own music.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, I'll listen to anything, but fuck, I hate it. So I hate in-game music, dude. You know, I like the Fat Rat
What
though. Shout out to him for making a music pack for Dota. I listened to it in YouTube though.
what about what about like Skyrim? You ever play Skyrim?
You know, I've never actually officially played Skyrim. I've watched people play Skyrim.
I feel like that's got good music while you're playing. Really quiet, doesn't distract from what's going on.
Play or not, I'd still mute it.
That's fair. That's
That's
fair.
but I have heard Skyrim music, so you know when people are playing, they're listening to it. You know, I can't. I'm not gonna complain and tell them to turn it off, but it's not me, man. I don't know. I don't like having music in game while I play. I think it's kind of my thing though.
Now here's a question then. Do you use the respawn music when that comes back? Or do you have that turned off?
I think that's turned off.
So you don't hear the choir of people saying whatever they're I've never been able to tell what they're saying. But whatever they're saying when you respawn in the fountain.
You know, I have no idea if it's on or off. I think I hear myself when I spawn, but I'm not 100% sure now.
I think they sing like Omega. I think that's the closest like something Omega they sing. And then you respawn.
I'll have to play another Dota game and die and let you know. I have no idea.
Yeah, definitely update. I'm curious.
Yeah, I feel like I just don't I have no clue. But yeah, no, my
That
sounds are pretty low when I cast, which is a bad thing, but I think they're too loud for me. Grant has the same issue.
I've never had I'm trying to listen to think about when I was listening to your cast. I don't think they were too loud or too quiet. I don't think I remember feeling either way about the game noise.
You know what? If the game noise is good enough for the cat for you, next you can let me know. Next time you watch, be like, could be louder, could be quieter. I'll say, you know, thanks for the info. I'm not changing it. But I'd be
Perfect.
curious. I'd be very curious though, because if I can change it, like if it's good, then I'm happy. But I don't know. I have zero clue if it is or isn't. You know, but
I will let you know next time I listen to one of the casts. The ROT game, that's the last one I listened to that you did. It was fine. I don't remember thinking it was too far either way.
nice. That's good then. because I don't go into my audio settings and change it for every cast. I leave it and
Yeah.
just, so that's good. Well, believe it or not, like while I'm talking to you, I'm watching Pro Dota right now. I'm watching ESL Quincy Crew versus Beast Coast. Like I'm not really watching it. But I have it like on my screen.
Who is Quincy? Who's on Quincy Crew right now?
The CNC, they were Digital Habitat.
Oh,
And
that's
Digital
right. Yeah,
Habitat
yeah.
made an announcement, hey, we can't keep up with them because, no TI and no like tournaments right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
We just can't afford. They are a small org though. And some people were giving them hell, man. And I'm like, really, guys? Like, really? This is, NA teams have it tough. Like, if you're in NA doing Dota, it is challenging.
Well, I remember when was it Digital Habitat and Cosmics Gaming both made their TI run. Those good times back in was that 2014?
You said
When you guys,
Cosmics.
yeah, you guys almost qualified the TI. Yeah, that was a good
Uh,
time.
oh, I said Digital Habitat instead of Digital Chaos. Did I screw up?
I just went with it, man. I thought you
Oh,
were just it's okay. I thought you
no.
were just taking a nice little stab at Jukester, which is hilarious.
No, I like
But
Trickster. I want Digital Habitat to do well. I think they would have won that contender season. They were forced to go to intermediate, and I think they were the best contender team the year Red 5 won, and it's a shame. But if we're talking about Cosmics, one season of glory, yeah, we took down DH in those 2 games and spanked them.
I remember that. I remember watching that. I wasn't playing that year, I don't think. I think it was just around.
That was intermediate and FYI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Intermediate league, teams. So felt good. DC and Wings, dude. Oh, dude, I can't believe DC beat EG. I think EG could have had a chance against Wings, but not DC. But it was good.
DC, man, yeah, the DC
2016.
that made me a Moo fan. He just tore it up that finals. Playing Beastmaster, getting to those upset games. They had like 4 upset series in a row. Just crazy good team.
Yeah, they kind of just made it. That's when Sunsfan was part of it. Sir Action Slacks, he was their official sub as someone went down.
Yeah, Wings was crazy good that year too. They played like different draft every game. Nobody knew what they were gonna pick, where they were gonna lane, or what they were doing.
And then the drama, and then Wings separated. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, that's super sad.
Now Ace basically is a CDL, and now we got Newbie with their. I'm very curious about that all too. Like Newbie,
Oh yeah,
they're
Newbie
saying
getting
they're the ones that
permanently banned. Yeah,
from their events, and they're first off, I don't know what the evidence is. I don't know if the players did. Normally, it's the team that's losing that chose to lose the game, not both teams in it. What about the other team? So I'm very curious about how that's going to play out with
did you
Valve.
watch that replay of
I
the
watched
game
some
in
of I watched the highlights.
Yeah,
When
I didn't see anything that looked blatant. Not that my opinion matters, but nothing was crazy.
there was a
So
few things, man. There was a few things that was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" But the thing is, I've seen that too, and actually, I got some clips with a lot of views of people that threw in the Chinese games because when I was casting, I had quite a few. I was casting late at night, casting those Chinese, Southeast Asian Dota games, and you know what? The couple Reddit threads were using my casts for that, so I got some clips with a lot of views, but there
nice.
was they were legitimate throws. Like there was no way, like these two teams, and they did get banned. But it's tough. Dota's challenging, man. It's because Suns fan brought up a good point. He casted a game. Medusa went for the boundary room, had a divine, no buyback, died, got bursted. Was that a throw? So it is kind of
Right.
challenging.
Right, because I mean, people still make mistakes. Doesn't matter who you're playing, you
But
know. So is every mistake a intentional throw, or is it just you being not perfect for a second?
there's a lot of money in that gambling in Chinese tier 3 Dota that I do think there's throws. And I don't know if it was Newbie that did it, but the other team there was some really things that they were doing that was not actual Dota. Like
Yeah.
like the Morphling did something and waveformed like to die.
Oh, you know what? I did see that and thought that was strange.
So
Yeah, it's just it's hard to prove, definitely, when it's something like that.
oh yeah, it's very hard. You need like messages and stuff and everything. So long story short, they have to find out. They have to do a lot of kind of research and determinations on those players because it's a very serious saying. Newbie's probably a top 8 team there in China. They have
Well,
some good
and as
players.
far as I know, Valve hasn't come right out and said for sure either way.
Hmm.
So, still waiting on Valve to either put the hammer down or, I guess, disagree with CDL and say no. That'll be interesting.
Well, that is the thing. The CDL is basically Ace in China, and they Newbie is claiming that they don't like Newbie, the CDA.
Yeah,
So their owner is saying, "Hey, this is unfair." You know, because there is a lot of money in Chinese Dota that you probably know about. Like to buy out players, you got to pay on some of them is like $1 million buyout, and like they're on
yeah,
contract for years.
yeah, yeah. It was $1 million for was it Ame when he left to LGD? It was something like $1 million for him to buy out his contract from LGD, which is insane. But
Well, not ROTK. Burning. Burning has a team, right? He has his team Aster
yeah,
that he kind of leads. There was talks of them bringing Samael or Arteezy over and buying
I
him out
remember
and
that.
giving him a salary.
Yeah,
Like, like that's what they consider. We'll pay anybody. Now, Arteezy semi made sense because, his girlfriend is actually a Chinese Dota 2 caster talent.
right.
So, then he'd be closer to his girlfriend.
It is interesting. I'm
Yeah,
kind of glad I don't
sorry.
have to deal with, we don't have to deal with the match fixing and the gambling. At least not as much, not as visibly in NA, for
Yeah, not
sure.
as much as in North America. Yeah, Burning is most part. I think he's part owner of Aster or whatever. He might not won much when he played Dota. So, like he won okay money, but like those
Yeah.
stream sponsorship deals, like to stream on those sites, they're $1 million contracts. Like they were ahead of what's happening with Twitch and Mixer and Facebook and YouTube.
I think it was maybe it was on the Suns fan podcast that he was saying, like Dota and esports in general in China, it's treated almost on the same level as real sports. It's super different from here. Like those players are treated like athletes. The organizations are like big, legitimate organizations. It's not like it is here where it's, oh, you play esports. It's a big deal there.
Yeah, oh, it is very huge. Actually, in the Philippines, apparently, because Dota is the biggest thing in the Philippines for esports, I believe. if you have a high MMR, that's something you can put on your dating profile. I'm not shitting you, man. I'm very serious when I say that. You can put high MMR if you're like a 7K player. You can put that on your dating profile, and I'm not even kidding. Yeah,
I have never heard of that. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah, and just yeah, in China they are definitely esports are treated like athletes. Like this guy's saying, Alexandro Dev or whatever the fuck his name is, dude. He's right. They're put on a kind of a pendulum, and
Yeah.
Korea and China, man. That's why League of Legends is so big there too, is because they played it and they're treated really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start with StarCraft, and it gave them a little head start, and I think it's huge. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's very, to me, it's very interesting. Uh, esports is so huge in some areas. In North America, it's a little lagging, but that's also could be because our sports, like real sports, is so ahead.
Right. Yeah, especially the mainstream media here tends to cover mostly just, physical sports. It is shifting. Sometimes you'll see Dota or League or something else on a highlight reel, but it still is not, like a main focus of any sport coverage,
Well, a
which
lot of
I think it's becoming that way, but
mhm.
it's not where it is in some other countries.
Well, heck, they're and still in like North America, they make fun of people that play video games and make money. And they make
Right.
jokes. Can't believe this guy's making money playing video games. And I try to explain to people, I'm like, these guys are insane. I
Right.
don't think you understand. I don't think they understand how good a these guy players are.
It's no different than making fun of somebody for playing chess. I mean, it's the same concept, different interface, but same idea. Strategy, moves, out thinking, outplaying your opponent. Doesn't require physical, strength or machismo or whatever you want to call it for real sports. Yeah.
All I know is when I watch someone playing Dota at the top level, I'm like, Jesus Christ, these guys are so good. It's like football. They're just playing a game too. It's entertainment, guys. Everything, all this is entertainment. And, should I make fun of you playing NFL? No, you guys think it's perfectly normal that guys are just running into each other, and some of them are, like over 300 pounds because they are, the bigger you are, the harder it is to move them, right? So they
Right.
think being 300 pounds is an athlete or more.
I mean, and I guess, in that context it is. So,
Oh, I'm perfect.
you
I'm
know,
perfectly fine with it. But if they're saying, "Hey, Arteezy isn't an athlete," or an esports athlete, I'm okay if there's a separation, you know, between them. I like sports and esports, but it's like, why is this guy that just stands in front of the line and protects his guy? Why does he get way more respect than Arteezy?
right.
Or let's pick Ti winner, No Tail.
Right. I think there's a shift. Maybe not that will ever happen with Dota, but in general with esports, I think there's a shift. This generation of people, who are teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, who grew up with computer games and grew up with the idea that, you know, you could be competitive online, technology based competition. Uh, I wouldn't be shocked to see more and more mainstream coverage of things in the future. It's already kind of trending that direction, but I think with a lot of things, as long as the people that are ultimately in control and pulling the strings still want to see football every week, that's what's going to be on. But I don't think it's out of the question that in 20 years you get your Sports Center highlight breakdown and half of them are, esports or tech related, highlights rather than the top 10 catches. It's also so much more accessible. Like, you want to go to a football game, you want to go to a pro football game and watch that or watch it on TV, you got to pay for this cable package, or you have to shell out $80 for a ticket, or go somewhere and get parking or whatever. A lot of esports, you want to watch somebody play at a high level, you log into a free internet browser and go to a website, and there it is. Maybe you have to watch a couple ads. It's free.
You guys have phones, right?
Or you watch it on your phone. I don't know. I prefer to watch on a screen if I can, just so I can see what's going on better.
I was making fun of Blizzard with the Diablo Immortals launch. You guys have
Oh,
phones,
yeah.
right? That's what I was going for.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping you'd pick up on that. You guys have phones, right? Because because Diablo Immortals, and they're doing that because mobile games are so huge in China.
Which that didn't do that great, from what I read. Did not. I don't think it did what they wanted it to.
I never really put a follow up with it, but seemed kind of noxious, that we're just making this game because we know it'll sell. They probably made their money back, man.
There's no release date yet for it, but the reaction that they were hoping for did not happen. Like, I think they thought everybody would just say, "Oh, this is the best thing ever," and pretty much everybody said, "Why are you doing this?"
Well, I think it stuck with a lot of people in the Western world that we're not buying this game. Fuck you. I honestly do think that happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so you know what I think has held esports a little bit back? Fortnite, man.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I think Fortnite's a shitty esport. I'd rather watch Farmville esports. Dude, I played Fortnite for a bit, but like even now, like they gave that. I don't know how much you follow every other esport, dude, but there's an aim assist issue going on.
Yeah, I know of that. I mean, I've watched a little bit of Fortnite, but I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy watching it. So
I don't watch it, but if you play on controller, you have a competitive edge on people that play with mouse and keyboard because of how Fortnite does aiming, and you have huge, ridiculous aim assist, like complete aim assist. Like the aim assist is super OP.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an issue with that in one of the Call of Duties from the last couple of years that was being played competitively, and I don't remember what came of that, but it was a similar, people using aim assist and or like bots to tell them what was going on in the background, and it was very hard to detect. And
I'm strictly talking like the creator of the game actually added this aim assist on for controller users, not like some third party application.
You're talking about just a balance. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, the multiple players that have been controller mouse and keyboard players are trying to learn how to use the keyboard at a competitive level because it is so much better. Fortnite did make an announcement saying they're gonna change it in a couple weeks. But
I didn't even know about that.
yeah.
Can you imagine if Dota did that? Like, it'd be chaos.
100%. Valve, well, let's think CS:GO. Let's say using a controller was better than a mouse and keyboard. You know how many pros would complain in CS:GO if using a controller became better?
I feel like it would kill the competitive scene. People would want to have nothing to do with it.
There would be a lot of bitching. That's for sure. Dota would be a little harder. I have no idea how you're going to use a controller. But in CS:GO, it's a shooter. Technically, yeah, you can use one, but all hell would be broken loose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
I
just
mean,
kind of, yeah.
I know it's possible to play Dota with a controller. I've seen people do it, not well, but uh, if they had some kind of an aim assist on Dota, where instead
Mhm.
of maybe there's an army of PLs and you have to click on the real one, but on a controller it just shoots to the real one automatically when you're trying to unit target or something. People would switch to controller if there was something like that.
Yeah, controller gave you an advantage. Everybody be learning controller, or the people that are saying no, you can't have this, man. I don't think so. If you want to play on controller because it's kind of easier to learn the mouse and keyboard, I think that's fine. But you can't be giving an advantage to controller players just because you're against mouse and keyboard. That's stupid.
Right. I agree. That is stupid.
You know, and that's a huge issue because Fortnite's so cross to play, and a lot of games are coming out as cross to play. So you know you can't be limiting the advantage of a mouse and keyboard. It takes a lot of time to learn how to use it. And some of the pros of Fortnite, they've talked about, they're like, hey, you play mouse keyboard on Fortnite, it's going to take you some time to learn. You play mouse, if you play on a controller and you're not a pro and you're learning how to play, you could kill a pro with a controller.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Which is I think why Valve will never and should never do any kind of a mobile version of Dota that somehow integrates with the main client. I don't think it would be good for the game. I think it would undermine the competitive integrity of the game. What little is left.
I think what's left? I think Valve does a really good job in video games and balancing them. Believe it or not, I do think they do an amazing job. Yes, sometimes you have like really OP heroes and stuff, but come on, you know, we, Dota has a lot of pluses.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I'm
changing. Compare Overwatch. Blizzard has a team. Overwatch, they sell a lot of copies. They have the same patch that everybody hates constantly.
yeah.
You know,
I
I don't
I
know.
mean Dota's been around for long enough to keep hundreds of thousands and millions of people interested for what is it now, 15 years since the original mod, something like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
quite a while.
The issue is
We,
it's not helping people. It's not keeping those people around.
I think if there is a patch that does what they did with the battle pass this year, uh to that same level of competency, but does it with the new hero or the new player experience, and also maybe finds a way to quell some of the rampant buying and selling of accounts, I think the game would jump up in popularity. Now, I don't know what that looks like. I don't think just slapping a better tutorial on it fixes a lot of the issues inherent to somebody starting out, from zero right now, but I'm sure that they have a whole bunch of ideas, and I think implementing some or all or whatever they come up with, uh, I'm excited to see them do that because I know they've said they've been working on it for a while, and we still haven't seen whatever that looks like. So I am excited and curious to see that.
Back in Dota 1, I played a lot of Warcraft 3. I was a top 10 player in Risk Devo. No screenshots per proof, but I was a Risk Devo player. And it
Nice.
was a Warcraft 3 mod. And, at times I was number one. I wouldn't say I was the best player, but on the leaderboard where it all mattered was playing time, I was number one. By, I stayed in the top 10 for a long time, but the I played a couple Dota games. I didn't play Dota because the community sucked back then. It's not a thing about just today, believe it or not. It was back then too. The
Oh
community
yeah.
did not welcome me playing any Dota games, so then I didn't play Dota. But believe it or
I
not,
yeah, I started with Dota 1, was not very good. Built Battle Fury on every hero.
well, actually, you know what? There's merit to that because out of the items to buy, believe it or not, it's actually okay if you did.
Yeah, it was one of those that seemed to do okay with everybody, and I knew it was a safe item, so Battle Fury on everyone, and probably lost more games than I won, and then didn't come back to Dota 2 until like 2012, 2013, something like that.
Yeah, I start playing Dota in 2013, Dota 2 anyways. But I did play a handful of Dota games. I played this is when Dota 2 came out. I played at a cafe, LAN cafe, and we played Dota 1,
Nice.
2v2. It was a fun game. I lost. I had no we won in kills, but we didn't understand anything about lanes and stuff and creeps. That was a good time. It was so pure back then. Even when I
I,
started Dota 2, so pure.
even Dota, yeah, Dota 2 was like that. I Dota 2, I would buy Mjolnir on every hero for the longest time because I thought that the lightning looked cool. I just
Spear,
thought it was a cool effect. It did a
s-
lot of
yeah.
damage.
I'd go to the safe lane. I'd share last hits, Spear Breaker and Ricky. Man, there's a guy on my friends
Airbreaker
list.
and
He
Ricky.
played Ricky, and I played Spear Breaker, and we teamed up and we shared last hits in lane. You know,
Airbreaker. I'm trying to think. I think I started with Zeus and Lich. I think were my first two like spam these heroes. And I would buy Mjolnir on Lich and Zeus just because that's what, uh, is totally viable, right? When you're, I don't even know if MMR was a thing or it was in its infancy then, so it mattered a lot less. And people did all kinds of weird things. I feel like even the average pub game now, like I was talking to you earlier about the turbos, even the average pub turbo game at a 3K level is probably more competitive than the highest MMR ranked game was when Dota came out. Like it's crazy how far things have progressed.
I'll disagree with you on that, but Turbo is competitive. You know, even before the guild contracts, man, I'd want to just play one Turbo game, man. And people are very competitive people. I do want to win. I want to win my Tide Hunter game, man. It's my guild
Did you see
contract.
did you see the not to interrupt you, did you see the video with Dendy from a little while back where they were interviewing him and he was talking about TI1 and he was they were asking him, what do you think of players now or how has the game grown? And he was like, I think any random stack of 4K players would have won TI1. They would have beat us. He
Dendy's
was
always
like,
downplayed it. I don't think 4K, but any random 6K stack probably could.
if you watch it though, some of those old tournaments, there's a lot of just like walking around and there's no pulling, there's very little stacking, it's crazy how far just mechanics like that have trickled down.
Oh, for sure. Like sometimes I wonder what MMR I would be. Would I have been able to go to TI1 with the knowledge I have? But the thing is, back then, the knowledge is so accessible now. So all of us are. I really do
Right.
believe if you're a 2K player today, you're better than 2K players before. Like if you will drop MMR if you don't get better. And if you're staying at the same MMR, you are getting better as a player, but not as fast as everybody else.
Right.
I do
Right.
believe that. I really do. We Dota players are getting better. It comes with hours played, experience, and there's so much. And I really do believe this. Dota is a very hardcore community where we do a lot of research,
Yeah.
a lot of research, and it's everywhere. You know, Like I can watch Twitch streams. You could just sit and watch a Twitch stream or a tournament, and you can pick up things. Oh, this is how you build this hero now. Oh, this is what I should do if I'm playing support. This is like you can watch anything and be better. Like I didn't play Dota over this before I joined Cosmics. I was only playing turbos in the summer. I wasn't playing regular games. You can look at my Dota buff. This is completely true. I joined Cosmics and I started playing Dota game. I felt really good, and I felt like I lost a lot about a lot of my bad habits, and used my good habits like that I learned from
Right.
watching Pro Dota in those games. Like, I felt like a farming beast. I felt like I was Hector on that Wraith King. You know, I was getting good radiance timings, and I was doing I was just copying what he was doing, and it was winning games.
Yeah, man. I mean, so much of it's knowledge based. Like if you can, mechanical skills aside, if you can keep up with the knowledge of what you need to do and what the meta is, you're already going to be a leg up on, people that don't have that.
Oh yeah, I try to always learn the meta. Pick the heroes I can play. I'm a garbage Morphling. I'll play it once in a blue moon, but I'm a garbage Morphling. But when Morphling's in the meta, it makes me feel really bad because I can't play the hero well. I'm not Dylan.
Right.
So it's rough. But I try to play the heroes that are good. Like, you see some heroes that aren't good right now, well, I'm not going to play them. Oh, they're good now, and then some are, average. It's tough. Dota, it's always evolving, new patches, and new builds. I just love it. Like Sniper, the example is Sniper Position 4 is actually legit. It's actually really good. The Agnums is amazing. Sniper Pause 4 is super legit as a
Oh, yeah.
hero and role. And it's not a meme. It's actually good. Like, yeah, people thought it was a meme when they saw it at the start, but it's actually a very, very good. And that's like Dota evolving. Like a couple years ago, sniper support, you'd be getting reported.
I mean, 6 months ago, probably getting reported for that. Now it's in every other game, all the time. I swear, like half of my ranked games last month, sniper support.
It's good. It's fun. It's new. People like doing new things, man. I like doing new things. I played 2 games of Sniper Pause 4. I enjoyed it. It was something different. And that's the nice thing about Dota is like with all the new patches that come out, the changes. I really do like it. The only patch I didn't like is when they nerfed everything by 20% for talents. I was like, this is stupid. I agreed with the masses. I was like, whatever, but this is lame.
That
Like,
hurt as
The
an
dragon
off
comes
laner.
for war.
That was a rough time to be an off laner.
I was like, I can't believe you're nerfing talents just 20% all across the board, or mostly 20%. I was like, this is the dumbest balancing I ever heard. And the argument is they were trying to, because there was a lot of power creep coming in Dota, so they were trying to eliminate it
Right.
in some way. I'm like, first off, you increase power creep when you added neutral items. And honestly, I'm okay. Power creep, like, there's a difference. In card games, power creep, it's like you have to buy the new cards because they're going to be better than the old cards. You know what? Guess what? In Dota, if everybody's better, I don't have to pay more money for these heroes to be
Right.
better or worse.
Right. The game is just faster. I think the game is faster in general. Maybe not game time, but I think the game play is definitely less static than it's ever been.
Well,
Probably.
there's a patch in 2015, I think. It was all about farming as a carry for 30 minutes. Straight up, don't join a fight, AFK farm. Or 24. There was a patch, and it was
Yeah.
months and months. Literally, to be a carry player, you didn't show up to a fight, you farmed for 6 items, and fought once, loser loses. And that was like the meta. That was a shitty meta. Now, you know what? We got some back and forth. I will say that comebacks are a little harder and like pro Dota, but not as like in pubs. They're easy.
Right.
But it's tough. Honestly, Dota is like very. I just love Dota. I'll just say it. I love Dota. Dota, I spent over $1,000 on this battle pass. Dude, I was first on my friends list, tied for first with a guy named Jeff. He donated
I
100 levels to a friend. That friend, you know what he did? He bought 120 levels and gave it to the guy, and now he's 102 levels ahead of me, and it's pissing me off. Like, how dare you? You know there's a competition between this guy and me, and you gave him 102 levels, and I can buy myself another 120, but I'd feel like a dumbass doing that.
what a time to be a whale.
I
Yeah,
don't feel.
it's
I feel like I don't feel like I'm a whale. I feel like I'm a dolphin.
a large dolphin,
Small dolphin,
a small dolphin.
medium, regular sized dolphin. I think small dolphins over 1,000. Regular dolphins gets to 2,000, and then like large dolphin, buys to like 3,000 something.
And the whale is like the that
10,000,
Persian
5,000 or
that
more.
prince who was like 16,000 or whatever.
He's gotten 100,000 the last, I think, 3 years or something like that. Dude, you
Yeah.
know what? The thing is, he has money to burn. Dude, so they own some money in Amazon and Twitch. And someone asked, "Are you gonna stream on Twitch ever?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know if I'd stream. My family kind of owns the company." And I'm like, "Dude, like, what the fuck? Like, he'd get views just because he's rich and he'd have balling sets, dude."
He posted on Reddit last year or the year before and was asking if he could have time limit extended on his consumables, because even if he used them off cooldown and did nothing but play, he wouldn't be able to use them all before the end of the battle pass.
Dude, for the shovels, it took me forever to use mine. It was like the last two. I was just doing them off cooldown. Last year, I feel so privileged right now. I swear I'm not rich, guys. I'm not buying 120 levels. I'm just saying that the guy ruined the spirit of the competition. Because
I'm level 83 right now. For anybody else out there who doesn't want to feel bad, level 83.
dude, you're only level 83? Really?
Yeah.
Are
I
you
think
on my friends
bought,
list?
I bought the 50, and then somebody gave me 10, and then the rest I got from challenges, and then I think somebody else gave me like 4 or something.
My friends
So-
list? What the hell? I was looking at the people below 100,
Thought I was. I was at one time.
Oh, well, I
That's
don't
okay.
see you. I don't see you right now, but I donated actually 5 battle passes,
Very nice.
5 level
So you're
ones, not
the
hundreds.
wise. You're the wise now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
I am the wise. I had a F5 for a while, but it was actually tough to find 5 people without a battle pass to donate to. I did donate to one guy, and the other 4 have left it at 1 and climbing. But the one guy actually bought levels, so I feel like I could have maybe gave it to somebody else.
Yeah, I gave one to somebody who then turned around and gave me back the same number of levels and was like, "Thank you, but no thank you." That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, I kind of felt like, oh well, shouldn't have donated to you. I didn't think he was gonna buy the battle pass, but then he bought some levels, and it's like, oh, he could have used that cost savings or got higher. I'm trying to find him right now. I don't see him on my friends list even. Did he kick me? No, I'm just kidding.
So toxic.
No. Oh no, he's there. He's at 150. I won't say his name. I won't point him out, but he's at 150. So he's bought some levels.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then I actually donate. So I'm on my second account. It does have my battle pass when I open it. I donate to myself.
Donate it to yourself.
Yeah,
There you
why
go.
not, dude? Why not? Grind up, get some immortals on that account once in a blue moon. I play on it.
Right?
You know,
Maybe get some drops that you can funnel to your main account. There you go.
I did get the Sven sword on that account, and I did transfer it over.
Well, yeah, of course.
But I like having immortals on the other account. So like my Smurf does have sets, man. I feel privileged, too privileged right now talking. I swear I'm not rich, guys. I'm not. I'm a loser that just likes Dota and spends money on what he likes. I spend more money on dressing up my heroes in a year than I dress up myself. I just wear shirts and a hoodie. I don't have
You're
anything
sitting naked at your
classy.
computer, right? No clothes clean.
Well, actually, if we're talking, I just shorts.
There you go.
It's actually really nice. I don't have a webcam right now because I gave it to somebody, and it's really nice because I can just because you can't be naked for Twitch, but I can be at home with no webcam, so it's really nice.
I mean, you could be naked off cam. I think they let you do that.
No, they do. That's the beauty. Now I feel really bad for people imagining Fireman naked now watching this either right now or in the future. And be
You're
like,
welcome.
okay, I don't want to cut this short. We're at an hour and 40 minutes, so I don't really want to pass Captain Brian in my time. I enjoyed this time. I did have a couple questions to ask you. Is it okay if we cut
Absolutely.
this conversation short about me being naked in front of my computer?
That is, you know what? That's fine. I know
Okay.
you wanted to talk longer about that, but we'll cut it.
Okay, sounds good. I know you're getting a little hot and heavy, or the
It's
viewers.
hard to. Oh yeah, it's hard to concentrate.
I was gonna get it. Mary Todd Lincoln. Can you give a little history about her, and then the history of why you guys decide to name yourself you guys to be Mary Todd Lincoln team?
So as far as the team part of it goes, well, the history part of it, she's the wife of Abraham Lincoln, right?
Hmm.
And I don't know if there's any more significance to the team choosing the name other than that. I think Kino was the original one who set the team name as Mary Todd Lincoln. We played under a couple of other names, and I think when we don't want to use Mary Todd Lincoln and we're trying out new stuff, we go under Berries and Cream. So take that as for whatever you want. But Mary Todd Lincoln just seemed like a funny kind of off name, and also cool person in history. And nobody knows what to do with it, and nobody has any idea what it means. It's just a weird name for a sports team. So as far as the significance goes, that's all there is to that. As far as the history of the team, Kino originally started it, I want to say back in 2016, probably. Might have been earlier than that, but I believe 2016. And the first iteration of the team, or the first two iterations of the team, were really similar. We played mostly JDL back
Hmm.
when JDL was actually a thing. The first season I was on the team, I played mid, and I believe we played JDL and 82L that year, or maybe just JDL. Suffice it to say, JDL didn't have enough divisions, and the only division that had slots open that we could play in was Division 2, Tier 2, or whatever they called it. So it was all mostly divine level players, some ancients. And at that time, all of us were probably about 1,500 MMR to 2,000 maybe. So we we played the whole season out. We didn't forfeit any games. It was 10 games. We lost all 10 games. Shocker. I think the most kills we got in a game was 9. But we went in, I think, the year after that to 82L, and it was a really good experience. I mean, getting your ass kicked every game kind of sucked, but we analyzed the replays and we tried to learn. Everybody climbed probably 1,000 MMR, I think, as a direct result of that season, and went into 82L, finished first in the season, our first season in 82L. Just kind of tore up Contender League, and then had some personnel issues, didn't make it very far in the playoffs. And I think we've reshuffled only the one time since then. So we've been in going on in some capacity now for 3 or 4 years. So it's, and now 2 teams in the organization. So we got 9 players, or I guess 10 players now. So it's a lot of fun. We try to prioritize like the relational, chill part of Dota over just the competitive trying to win aspect. So it's more about being a good person and enjoying the camaraderie rather than, try harding to win, to the detriment of maybe treating people well. So we tend to look for people that are untiltable, and just enjoy playing competitive Dota. So it's been great. I have enjoyed it, and probably I don't know if I would have played as much Dota as I have, having not been, in an organization like that. It's been a lot of fun.
I'm trying to get there too. I'm trying to get to the chill part of Dota, less competitive, and just enjoying playing. That's what I am trying to continue to do. Yes, Dota's a game. Dota is a game. I'm never going pro. I need to relax, and I think I've done a really good job of that, and I need to continue on my journey. It's an ever journey, because there was one point in my life 2 years ago, I think now, I was taking Dota a little too seriously. I got sent to low priority. I haven't been to low priority since. So I think
Good.
that says
Good, man.
that says something. So
Yeah.
that's interesting
Yeah.
though. By the way, I want to mention quickly, I'm a Canadian, so I do not know Abraham Lincoln's wife's name. So I did
Well, there
not
you go.
know.
Now you know.
I did not know who Mary Todd Lincoln is. I was very serious when I asked for the history. It kind of reminds me of Captain's Draft. They had the players read a Wikipedia page and give a little couple minutes about that person. Like, who's this person? And Arteezy was doing one for an American person. He's like, I have no idea. We don't learn this in our school, right? We learn Canadian history to a point. You know, we don't sit around learning American history.
Right. No. So just, I don't know if there's any more significance to the original name. I would have to ask Kino about that. I know it was initially almost like an in joke, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. And we're like, Abraham Lincoln was really cool. Probably one of the best presidents the U.S. ever had. So why not? So
He stuck to his guns, that's for sure. You know,
that's right.
what I've read about Abraham Lincoln, he stuck to his guns. He's like, no, this is what I believe in. This is what we're gonna do, and you know what he did? He did it. So, shout out to
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and
Shout out to Abraham Lincoln. That's right.
that's what we wanted to come to, guys. At the end of this stream, is that Abraham Lincoln did good, great guy, 10 out of 10. Shout out to
Would president again. That's right.
yeah, You want Abraham Lincoln or Donald Trump? Don't get into politics. I'm taking Abraham Lincoln every time.
I don't think there's a citizen alive who wouldn't take Abraham Lincoln. So
You sure? People still fly the Confederate flag in the
I'm
States, but
oh, you know what? That's true. I know some of those people.
dude, okay, I don't want to get in politics. You said you don't want to, but I just want to mention something. I love when you go and ask them why they fly the Confederate flag because it represents slavery, and they say it doesn't. And you say, okay, what does it represent? They can't come up with anything. I love it.
people just say Southern Pride, which is a very vague.
Yeah, what's
And
your
it's
Southern pride then? Like I just it is what it is though. Life
that is
is
yeah,
life.
life is life.
That's all I got.
Profound words. Profound words.
Dude, I got many good quotes. You know,
Life is life.
life is life, and every day is a good day.
That's right.
And
It's a
then
good motto.
you can add in something at the end. Every day's a good day. You know, in this store. When someone asks how your day is, you're at Walmart. You know, and you're at the register, and she says to you, I'm assuming she's a she. Uh, and she says, "How's your day going?" I tell her every day is a good day at Walmart.
There you go.
You know, I say that every time at work too. I no weakness, no weakness. Every day's a good day. When you look at
And
someone, that's what you say.
so the too long didn't read of this fiery side has been every day's a good day. Shout out to Abraham Lincoln. Battle Pass seems good.
Dude, if you have money, if you're getting to 1,000 levels, or I guess 575, Battle Pass is amazing. If you're a person that wants everything for $10, well, you know what, and sucks to be you, because I don't think you should get everything for $10. And when I don't. That's the thing. Those are the two different views. And talking to a guy about pricing and stuff, and he's like, I don't want to spend this much, but I am going to because I want to hit these levels. Normally, I just want to spend like 100, but now I'm gonna have to spend 200. And you know what? I'm over here, and I'm not naming these people. See, I'm avoiding naming them. You know, because I'll take the flack. And then myself and a few people that do spend money now, it's not these guys aren't spending to 2,000 either, but they're like, this is even better. Like, I get more stuff if I pay more. Like, this is amazing. Like, you have one view, the materialistic view. Like, I have the more the better. Like, oh yeah, I get to spend more money and I get more. And then you have the people that have the economic view that don't
Right.
want to spend any money or spend a limited amount of money and get stuff. And you still get stuff. You get if you get to 100 levels, you get 6 treasure ones, so you get all those immortals. So it's not hard to grind. I've done the cavern crawl last year and the year before, and I'll do it again this year. And you get levels for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the moral is if you want to spend money on it, there's good stuff. If you don't, there's still good stuff. There's just less because that's how money works.
Yeah, defending Valve on this. I am a simp for Valve. If for Gaben.
Simp,
Gaben
simp
says
for Gaben.
simp
There's
for
another good quote.
Gaben. There you go. I'm a simp for Gaben. Oh man, honestly, TI-11. I mean TI-10. Well, I was thinking, I wanted to go to TI-10, but now it's moved. Hopefully, I can still go, and in the new year. But
Yes. Well, we'll see
who
where it's at.
knows? As long as it's not in China, I'm good. I ain't going to China. I like China, but I ain't going there.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
with everything going on politically at the moment. A little scared. Though
Yeah.
nothing went wrong with the people that went to Dota 2 events, so maybe I'm fine. Maybe I will go, but not at the moment. Anyways, I think this was pretty good. Subwoofer, episode
Yeah.
3, third guest. We had Harb at 28. We had Captain Brian at 2 hours and 10 minutes. Have you basically at 2 hours, It doesn't feel like 2.
No. I can talk about Dota all day, as my team will tell you.
No, I believe you too. Obviously, I can talk quite some time and bring up random things and yada yada. Let's make you bring up random. I love it. I thank you for joining. If you want to say
Absolutely.
anything last before I kick you out of here, and say thank you. Floor's
No. Yeah.
yours.
Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you to the 82L community. Everybody's pretty awesome most of the time. And yeah, excited for this season. Excited for the matchups. It's been good so far.
Awesome. Oh, and one other thing. Do you think MTL has a shot to win Archon League? Like, what do you think the odds are? Do you think it's like 10%, 30%, 50, Like, where are you putting that?
Let me pull up the 82L here. I'm going to say I'll give them a 12% shot to win, and I'll give them a 75% shot to finish top 4.
I like it. That's a good one. I really like the 12% there too. Because Conan, okay, there's X amount of teams.
RNG. There you
Nah,
go.
fair enough, man. Thank you for coming on, man. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. Okay, guys. Well, left subwoofer there. I just want to finish up and say this was episode 3. Obviously, there was a couple people that stopped in and watched live, like 3-4 people. Shout out to them. I plan on doing another. I have to line it up with the guest. But if you want to be on, listen, guys. If you're watching this, the only way I'm not going out there and asking, hey, do you want to be on? I want you to be interested to come here, have a chat with Fireman on FirerySide chat. I want you to be like, hey, I want to be on. If you're in 82L, I'll take anybody. Subwoofer isn't even playing this season, but he's kept up. He's given music. He's actually, I didn't even bring it up. He offered to do so. I might have to message him. We might need some intro music for FirerySide chat from the man or something. I think that would be really cool. Add to this and maybe like an ending, an outro type little jingle. I think that would be kind of cool. Figure out how to do that. Slowly add more production value to this podcast. I honestly thank all you viewers that are watching. Some people have given me, I appreciate if you want a YouTube comment and say, hey, keep up the good work. I know a lot of you already message me in Discord and say, hey, I really enjoyed this. This was awesome. I hope there's another episode coming. If you want to, seriously, if you want to be on, just DM me, Fireman. You know where I'm at, in 82L. Right now I have Hashalega as my name. But DM me and say, hey, I want to be on. And we'll find a time. I've been liking this Sundays. Doing it on Sunday. This is kind of going to be my main content. It'll be weekly, bi-weekly. Shout out to Subwoofer and, I hope you guys enjoy this one too. Until next time, Fireman out.